Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pulse podcast. My name is Amanda Livingston, president of the Salem-Roanoke County Chamber of Commerce. And today's guest is Dr. Donna McCloskey, dean of the Davis College of Business and Economics at Radford University. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you. The first time we met, I actually heard you speak at the Montgomery County Chamber Women's event back in March. It was fantastic. And we need to get you over to the Salem-Roanoke County Chamber to speak at our leadership luncheon. Maybe we can get you in for next year.
That would be awesome. For anyone that may have attended that event, we talked about trying new things and kind of discovering our passion. And we had an A to Z list, and P was for podcast.
Yes.
And this is my first experience with that. So thank you.
That's
Let me
awesome.
check something off the list.
Very good. So you're relatively new to the area. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about what brought you to Radford University?
So I have spent my career in higher education, and I was at a small private school outside of Philadelphia. And I have 3 kids, and the kids did what kids do. They were growing up and getting ready to leave the nest. And I really spent some time thinking about what I wanted to do next in that next season. And I kind of created this list of everything I wanted in my next job and in where we were going to live and set down roots. And it was everything from, I wanted a farmer's market. I wanted sidewalks where I could walk to get coffee in the morning. I wanted to be close to the water. I wanted to be at a school where I was inspired, where they had an aspirational and inspirational vision. With leadership that I admired. I wanted to be in a business school that was accredited by AACSB. It's the highest level of accreditation a school can earn. I really think it says something about their commitment to programming and to quality. So I had a list of, probably 60 items of what I was looking for. And I was out on the market exploring what was around. And, I would visit a school and be like, well, I don't know, like maybe it hits some things. And then I met Radford, and from the moment I had my first Zoom interview with them, and they had students on the committee for hiring the new dean. And every school says they are student oriented, but having students participate in the search process shows a level of student commitment that you just don't
I never heard of that.
See everywhere.
That's neat.
And they don't think that's particularly special. That is just who they are. And it's not until someone comes in from the outside and can really point to all of the incredible special things about the Davis College, about Radford University, and certainly the New River Valley. So it hit everything on my list except Trader Joe's. If anyone has any connections to bring a Trader Joe's, I will take it.
We'll work on that.
All right.
Absolutely. So why don't you just give us a little bit about your background?
So can I go all the way back to 7th grade?
As far back as you need to go.
It is the first time I remember someone asking me, so what do you want to do with your life? What are you going to be? It was my guidance counselor in 7th grade, and he started with, you're at the top of your class. Do you want to be a teacher or a nurse? And I came home that day and told my mom about that question, and she was incensed that we would offer kind of gendered career paths. And I think there was a meeting with the superintendent, and she did not appreciate that. And then she finally asked, well, what was your answer? What did you say? And I said, well, I want to be a lawyer. And through high school, if we pulled out my high school yearbook, which we are never, ever going to do, but if we pulled that out, like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer, and all through college, I'm going to law school. And that was the career path. And I was in law school. It was a joint JD MBA program, and I thought I knew what my path was. And something happened to a faculty member, and they couldn't finish teaching for a semester. And the dean of the college knew that I had a background in that area and knew that I had done some teaching assistantships, and asked if I could fill in. And I loved being in the classroom. I just loved teaching. I loved connecting with students that way. And he took me to lunch afterwards and said, I know you think you're going to be a lawyer, but let me tell you what a career in higher education could look like. And I ended up dropping out of law school and enrolling in a PhD
Wow.
program. And like that lunch, like it's the importance of mentorships. Like if he hadn't taken the time to have that conversation,
You could be an attorney right
I'd
now.
have a totally different life. Yeah.
Wow, that's neat. So, what surprised you most about Radford, and like the whole community, the surrounding area?
So one of the messages that I've always given my children and my students is that I don't believe in luck, right? Like students will say, oh, I got lucky. I had this internship. I was lucky. I was seated next to someone at a conference and ended up getting this internship. And it's not about luck. It's about being prepared and showing up for opportunities. So showing up is like the kind of the
What's
mantra.
the saying? The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Exactly. Which they say is Thomas Jefferson. I don't know. Do we really know if that is?
I don't know. It makes sense.
It's absolutely true. So I think what I was most surprised by here is I could show up somewhere and say, I'm looking for a mentor for a student. They're interested in a career in real estate, or, I need a speaker on X topic, or we want to have our first year business students take a field trip to a business. And everyone just shows up. Yes, like here is my card, like happy to connect, happy to do that. Let's have a conversation. I knew it about the community as I was getting to know them, but I'm so impressed.
So that's not typical.
No, not at all. Just how close knit and just willing to connect everyone is.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to volunteer Savannah to help out. She can do a presentation at Radford for you for the chamber.
Awesome.
Does that sound good, Savannah?
I think I have Savannah tentatively scheduled in February.
All right, very good. So what did you see in Davis College when you took the role that made you think there's something really special here? Is anything in addition to what you've shared already as far as the program?
Yeah. I'd love to tell you about our programs, but I think I'll start by saying that we have amazing students and faculty. We talk about, and a lot of schools talk about applied learning, but we really live it, giving the opportunities for the students to compete in competitions and do internships and do projects for classes that, intersect with the real world, which isn't a phrase that I love, but doing real projects. We run a tax clinic out of our building where the students earn an IRS certification and then prepare tax returns for members of our community. Like we really live that, learn it and then apply it.
That's awesome. That's really neat. And that's just like they donate their time and it's a free resource to people in the community.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very good. So, for people who aren't familiar, give us the lay of the land. What does the Davis College of Business and Economics offer students? I mean, you talked about how it's applied knowledge, which is really unique and interesting. Anything in particular that you want to share about the college?
So we have a couple different degree programs that we offer. Certainly the traditional undergraduate programs. We have BBA and BS degrees in all of the areas of business that you can imagine: accounting and economics, finance, information systems, management, marketing, entrepreneurship, human resources. We also offer a degree completion program that I'm not sure many people know about. So, perhaps you started a degree somewhere and then life took you in a different direction. This gives you the ability to complete that degree online. Still with our hallmark kind of experiential applied connection, but with the freedom of not having to come on campus and kind of schedule classes that way.
And they can carry the credits that they had over.
Exactly.
Is it a little easier to do it that way?
I think it offers more flexibility. The other thing that we can do in that degree program is you can earn credit for prior experience. So perhaps you've never taken a course in human resources, but you've been working in HR for a number of years. Like we have the ability for people to earn credit for prior work.
Very nice.
And then one other program we have is the MBA. The MBA is also fully online. I think what's so special about it is our semesters are 7 weeks, which means you are always 6 weeks away from starting your MBA. You could decide today and start, the next session at the end of June.
Is that like a 2 or 3 year program?
You can finish it in 1 year if you choose to go every 7 weeks all the way through. And we have plenty of students that choose to do that, and we have some people that decide, to take some time off and to take the pace a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, if you don't mind,
please.
that I can offer there. So an MBA, it's 36 credits, so you can get it done in a year, but we also offer graduate certificates, and that can be for someone who has a graduate degree or someone doesn't have a graduate degree. It's 12 credits, so it's 4 courses. They're online in the 7-week format. And you can, kind of do a refresher in data analytics or in innovation. So, maybe you just want to start by taking a course on artificial intelligence and, kind of understanding what that is. And then it could lead to a certificate, and the certificate could lead to the MBA.
Excellent.
So I think meeting people just where they are with what they need.
That's really interesting. So things are changing so fast with this artificial intelligence world we live in. So how is that affecting, the college, the students? Any thoughts on AI?
Yeah, AI is both exciting and terrifying to me personally. For me, when I think about AI, I ask myself, am I using it for the product or am I using it for the process? Because I think that those are two different things that, if we wanted to write a summary of this podcast, AI might make sense for that because it's about the product, having the summary. But if it's about building the relationship between the university and the chamber, that is not appropriate for AI. That is something about the process. I have faculty doing so much cutting edge research in AI. We just created something called an AI Sandbox in the Davis College. And what it does is gives all of our students access to a whole plethora of AI tools so that they can see they are different from one another. They have strengths and weaknesses, gives them the ability to do some creative uses for AI and some discovery.
Yeah, I think it's just great for ideating, just really trying to come up with new ideas to, hit a goal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a big distinction, like the product or the process. I like that.
Have you ever had a conversation with your AI?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Use the,
yes.
And you use the verbal
knows
tool?
Me. It knows me. And it'll just say things that, we're doing a podcast with an insurance agent, and the chamber uses Erie Insurance, and they brought that up that he actually offers Erie Insurance. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Have you ever asked it anything personal?
I was trying to ask it about how long it was going to take for my eye to heal. What about you?
So I asked it, I was doing some goals for the coming year, and I asked it, given what you know about me, can you give me my strengths and weaknesses, things I should be working on? And it's shocking, Amanda. I'm telling you, shocking. What it has kind of gleamed from who I am and how I work. I also asked for a pep talk the other day. I was having a bad day, and it was highly effective at that as well.
Yeah, I had a friend that was having a problem with a child, and gave some context, and it really gave her some really good talking points that were really helpful. So yeah, I could probably benefit from using it some more. But what do you normally, is it Grok or chat? What do you normally use?
So the institution is Copilot. I use ChatGPT with a subscription. We're also, the Davis College is using something called Boodlebox now. So Boodlebox, it was what I was talking about in the AI Sandbox. It gives our students and faculty access to a whole range of tools, including, kind of logo and media creation tools. What I love about Boodlebox as an educator is it gives faculty the ability to see the prompts that the students use to get the output. So it's not just about grading the product that they turn in, but faculty can look at the process and how
they got
they
there.
used it.
You know, it's funny. There's all this conversation about the prompts. I feel like the more information you tell it, it's just better. So I think if I just ramble on and give as much context as possible, then I get good information, and then you can just kind of like fine tune it from there.
Do you have privacy concerns? Do you ever worry?
I don't have a paid app, so maybe I should be. I just use, Grok on my phone. And so we do have we purchased chat for the office at the chamber. But yeah, I mean, I don't share too much with it. But yeah, I guess it's out there. What kind of concerns do you have with it?
So someone told me early on in my career, and maybe it's a Thomas Jefferson quote, I don't know. But they said, if you aren't paying for a product, then you are the product. So like if we think about it like that in terms of Gmail, like Gmail is something that we don't pay for, but Google is providing that because they are, gleaming insights and data that is valuable to them. And certainly that is true for AI as well.
Yeah. So you're better off if you do a paid app.
I feel more secure.
Right.
With
You're
the
not
paid
signing
app.
away your life. Yeah, good. That's good information. So beyond the classroom, what experiences in terms of like internships, networking, competitions, what's shaping the Davis College students into professionals?
So we love applied learning in the classroom and experiences outside of the classroom. So we offer our students, all kinds of options for, taking the research that they've done in a class and presenting it on campus in one of our research forums. And then after they've, gained some confidence for that, like taking that to a conference, taking that to a competition. So this year we had students, everywhere from DC and Philadelphia and Chicago and, all over, just taking what they have learned on campus and sharing it. We do a lot of programming on campus, bringing alumni back, and
How many students do you have there roughly?
So we have about 800 undergraduate students in the Davis College.
Okay. And what about like overall?
About 8,000.
Wow. Okay.
On campus.
That's
and then
a nice size.
Like
Not too big, not too small.
And, I would say that is exactly how I would describe Radford, like big enough to give you
that
opportunities
feel,
and the college feel, but small enough that you can still be known and that you're not going to get lost.
Yeah, nice. So aside from academics, what else do you look for in students?
Curiosity, resiliency, and that like I am going to show up when opportunities present themselves. I'm gonna give it a try, and everything isn't right for you, but you don't know what is right for you until you try things.
Sure. So is it hard to get into Radford? What's like the acceptance rate?
I don't know what the acceptance rate is off the top of my head, but I know that it is based on high school performance, and that for students that the admissions team feel aren't ready to be successful yet, we have a really strong pathway from community colleges. We have something called the Tartan Transfer Program that allows you to start at a community college, but let Radford know, you're going to be my next step. And what that does is it lets us kind of lock you into what your curriculum is so that you know that everything you're taking at community college is going to transfer in as the requirements that we have. And you're also able to start participating in social activities on campus and, using an ID and coming to athletic events and, the concerts and things to start becoming part of the community.
Well, I can't say enough about, how great Radford is, since I've got Savannah, who's a graduate, and she's actually celebrating her first year at the chamber this month, and it's been a great fit. And it's funny because I was advertising for the job, and I was going through Indeed, and just bringing a lot of people that were responding to the application, and she saw something on LinkedIn, and she direct messaged me like a few times. And so I said, well, just come on in. And yeah, she knocked my socks off. And it has been just a fantastic year working with her. So
Awesome.
yes, very, very happy to have her on board.
So we have Savannah kind of in our kind of wish list for an event that we do every February, and we call it Shadow Day. And what we do is invite alumni and friends of the school to come in and meet with groups in small groups of students for 30 or 45 minutes, and just kind of tell their story and what you wished you had known in college and how did you get your first job, and this is a technique that worked for me.
That's great.
We have this gorgeous, beautiful building, and we fill every conference room and breakout room with students having those conversations.
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure she'd love to participate. So how important is it for you to build relationships with local businesses? What does that look like?
So I spent my whole career up until coming to the New River Valley 2 years ago in one geographic area, and I had really deep roots there. And that was probably my biggest worry with coming to Radford and the Davis College and accepting this opportunity, is that relationships are so important to me. And, being the new person, and it's been such a warm and welcoming community. I think the first year or two, we were creating a lot of relationships, right? It was the Donna and Amanda relationship. And now what we're ready to do is make sure that we're building those sustainable relationships. That's the Davis College Chamber of Commerce relationship, and then connecting to the university at large. So one of the dreams that we've always believed in project-based learning. So project-based learning is when, students are learning about marketing, for example. But then there is a real project that they have running for the semester that allows them to apply the concepts that they're learning in the class to a real project. So let's build a marketing campaign or a social media campaign, for a small business, and apply the theory that we're learning in class to something real. So the dream is to continue to increase those project-based learning opportunities, having a company bring, a problem to a class and letting the whole class kind of, delve into it over the course of the semester, and then, have them present their findings. But then having an internship that comes the next semester, where that business member can pick someone from the class to take those plans and then implement them the next semester, and kind of, build that deeper relationship, that we don't end with just a plan, that we're able to help the business take it to execution.
That's really neat. I love that. So what is your vision for connecting the Davis College more deeply with the New River Valley business community and Roanoke, Salem?
So what I've always told my kids, what I tell my students, we're going to have our first orientation today. So I'm going to be meeting our new class of students, is I want them to work hard and play hard. I want them to graduate on time with a job. So, our connection to the local business community is to make sure that our students are getting the real experience that they need to be ready to launch their careers when they graduate. And then the extent to which that can support our local businesses as well, through internships, through an HR pipeline.
Yeah, we got to figure out the secret sauce of keeping all these graduates here, and we've got to have those jobs for them. So that is a big issue for us.
Absolutely. And, when I graduated from college, you waited until senior year and you like picked out your resume paper and, were you going to be gray or off white? And like, that's when you started thinking about what you were going to do next. And really the pipeline starts much earlier. It's those summer internships. We can do internships during the academic year. That's really the pipeline that creates your new hires.
Yeah. So, what are you most excited about in terms of building or changing during your time as dean?
I have two things that I am so excited about right now. The first is through a very generous partnership with the Virginia Credit Union, we are creating a financial success center. Oh. So it's going to be in the Davis College of Business and Economics, out of our building, but it is a university initiative. And it is to give every student the knowledge and skills they need to be financially successful as students, as recent graduates, and for life. And we're really excited about it because we're leaning into our applied learning culture. We'll have a director of the center, but the content's going to be delivered by students who are going to be peer financial coaches to other students.
That's great.
So we're really excited about that. And the other thing I'm so excited about, hot off the presses, it just happened a couple days ago. We're bringing a Saxbys to our building. So it's Saxbys with an S. It's not the
Z.
Not the chicken place. This is a student-run coffee shop. So there will be a full-time student CEO every semester, and they are in charge of the profit and loss for this business.
I love that.
They do it in conjunction with 3 student vice presidents who are working part-time, and then obviously student employees to run the shop. But we are so excited to provide students with that opportunity and to really showcase that, this isn't a place where you just come to study business. Like, this is a place we run a business.
That. So who is supporting that?
So Saxbys, it is a student experiential learning company.
Okay.
So they have these coffee shops. I think it started in Philadelphia, so that's where I became aware of them. I think they're up to 30 campuses now.
That's a great idea. I mean, kids need to learn how to graduate and read a P&L.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Know how to manage the payroll or figure out how to use AI.
Absolutely. And, one of the challenges, they actually have a competition between all of the 30 schools, is that the hours will follow the academic calendar. So, for example, we'll be shut down for the week of Thanksgiving, but they run a contest leading up to Thanksgiving with who can keep sales steady, but also minimize the amount of loss that occurs. Because things are going to expire or while you're exactly.
Yeah,
so is it your marketing? Is it your ordering? How do we deal with that?
So for a student deciding where to study, and I'm actually in this process right now, I have a rising senior, so we've been visiting colleges. What would you want them to know about the Davis College at Radford?
I think that we are the right size, which we talked about earlier, like big enough for opportunity in the college experience, small enough that you don't get lost. I think what we offer is like that really kind of personal, experiential, nurturing opportunity, private school experience, but at a public school price point. So, kind of looking at what is offered versus, what am I paying for the experience would certainly be something I would recommend.
And my son's so interested in playing football. What's the athletics look like at Radford?
So we're a D1 school. So we have a really competitive, varsity sport program, very successful as well. So students are certainly interested to submit a form online to get looked at for that. But then we also have a really strong competitive club sport program. And as a matter of fact, we're offering scholarships in club sports now, including esports.
Wow.
So if, a student...
Like gaming?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to
He might qualify for that.
We are building, I hear it's going to be one of the largest, if not in the state, on the East Coast, esports stadiums. We have a really strong esports team. So, making the decision, is this a passion that I love and want to commit to at the level that would be required for a
Right.
D1
Right.
athlete? Or is this like a passion that I have and I can meet my people and, enjoy my
Sure.
activity at a club
Yeah.
sport level. And club sports play other universities.
Right. Neat. Yeah. Well, that's a big distinction, whether you're just doing it to enjoy it or really, plugged in. As far as your position as dean, what is your vision? Is there anything that you want to change? What's kind of your game plan, or when you look out and think about
Yeah.
what changes you want to make, if any?
So I have fabulous world-class faculty. And what I love so much about them is that they are able to do such cutting edge research and really be, on the forefront of their fields. But they're able to take that theory and connect it to practice. That they're able to, like Zach Collier, who is, one of the people that help connect us. We do too. But can do like such like tier 1 level research, but then also like explain, this is what cybersecurity is, and this is why it matters for our like electric cars or for our supply chain. And, faculty are doing research in like AI and complex economic modeling, but they can bring that down and, explain what does this mean for raising our children? What does this mean to what interest rates are going to happen? So I think if I had to tell you like one thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that we are telling our story to the best way possible, because there are fabulous things happening in the Davis College, and we want to be able to share those.
Well, Radford is very lucky to have you. I love your energy and your enthusiasm. You can tell that you're very passionate about what you do. I ask everyone that's a guest on the podcast to tell us what they love most about living in the New River Valley or Roanoke.
So I have very much been a Radford girl. So we bought our house there, and we have been very committed to that community. So I'm going to give mine from the Radford area. My husband was a little skeptical of the house that I picked out. Like, he wasn't sure about this and that. And then I explained that we could walk to Longway Brewery. And he was like, all righty, this is our house. Exactly.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm going to say Longway is high, and then, Radford Coffee and Arabica. You could find me at one of those 3 locations almost every week.
So what do you got coming up?
We have so much coming up. So honestly, I would ask that you and our listeners, I'd love to connect with you personally on LinkedIn, but also the Radford University Davis College of Business and Economics is our LinkedIn. No punctuation. I know it's very long, but that's, the best way of finding out everything that we're up to. 2 events that I would love to plug real quickly, if you don't mind. One is we're going to have an alumni event just down the street from where we're recording now in Elmwood Park.
Nice.
It's going to be August 13th. It's a band and a picnic, and there's, it's free if you wear a Radford item or an alumni button. So please see the website for more information on that. And then I'm going to be back in August speaking at the Hotel Roanoke. The Virginia Credit Union is running a financial success for women workshop.
Yes, so, Savannah and I attended that last year. It was excellent.
And I'm going to be speaking this year. We're going to be talking about career insurance. And, with AI and with like so much changing in the workplace, like how is it that we make sure that we ensure there's always going to be doors open for us?
How exciting. Yeah. Well, we will definitely sign up for that.
Awesome.
It was a great event last year. So I'm so happy they're doing it again.
Awesome. This is my first year participating. I'm really excited.
Well, thank you. It has been so fun chatting with you.
You
feel like an old friend.
I was so nervous coming in. So, Amanda, thank you for this opportunity and for being so welcoming.
Oh, well, thank you all for being with us today. Check out our podcast at the Salem-Roanoke County Chamber of Commerce. A big shout out to Red Velocity for having us, and we'll see you next time.